Hey, can we talk? Can we talk about alcoholism for a minute? My name is Aimé Lamdieu. Translated from French to English, it means beloved man of God. So somebody get me a soapbox, because I want to do a little preaching tonight. The name of my business is Create Your Nice Day. You can find me on the web, createyourniceday.com. And there it's a little bit of my writing, a little bit of my artwork, a little bit about me. One of the things you're not going to find on my website is anything announcing the fact that I'm in recovery. You won't find a listing for AA meetings. I won't offer you a free download for $14.95 that's going to cure you. And I won't ask for a donation to help me spread my message. And there's a reason for that. For most people, it isn't necessary to make a public service announcement when you get well. Most people don't care, and those that do care, they don't need the memo because they figure it out by watching your behavior. I think a lot of people in recovery know that there's still a stigma associated with recovery. So why would you talk about something when it just gives people a chance to judge you and discriminate against you? So people in recovery don't say much. We don't want to keep feeling that shame that we felt when we were out there drinking. And that shame affects our loved ones too, just as much as when we were drinking. And we're also afraid if we let the cat out of the bag, we could lose the love and support and respect we may have just recently gained. So we keep quiet. It's kind of like a club, like a secret club or something, until we hear of somebody in need. And then we let down the walls, we don't care anymore, and we say what we gotta say. And that's pretty much what this is. A few weeks back, a couple of weeks ago, talked about it in the introduction, I met this pseudo-professional woman to discuss my educational and financial goals. I say pseudo-professional woman because I have no idea the actual number of degrees this woman had at any. I say pseudo-professional woman because it takes more than an iPhone and a business suit to impress me. And I say pseudo-professional woman because the conversation we had was anything but ladylike. This woman was meeting me for the first time, and she had no knowledge of my history or my background. But regardless of those facts, she was there to be of service to me. And the conversation that ensued was absolutely shocking. And after I asked her to leave, I reported her. Then, like any other normal person, I blew up my phone. I called everybody I knew and told them what had happened and what this lady had said to me. But just as I was shocked about what this woman had said, I also became quite shocked by what a few other people were saying to me as well. And I ended up feeling like, wow. I mean, really, wow. So, can we talk? Can we start by talking about alcoholism for a minute? Because one of the first things this woman said to me was that alcoholism was a choice. Well, I guess she didn't judge her audience very well. I guess she didn't know that I was a recovering alcoholic, that my daughter died from alcoholism at age 27, and that my son currently struggles with his addiction. So that's where we're going to start. We're going to start with whether or not alcoholism is a choice. Well, according to insurance companies and the medical profession, alcoholism is a disease. It has symptoms that are predictable. Its physical symptoms can be monitored. It will always get worse, it will always progress, and without help, it's terminal. So, it's a lot like cancer. All cancer patients experience similar things. As their disease progresses, the physical symptoms can be charted. Without doctors and medicine, cancer patients just get sicker. And without medical attention, people die. Cancer may be genetic, but environmental factors can play in as well. Like if your grandmother and mother had breast cancer, it means they're going to want you to go once a year to get a breast exam. If your grandmother and mother didn't have breast cancer, they may ask you to go once every 3 years because it's less likely that you'll end up having it. You may smoke. Now that raises the chances of cancer, but it doesn't predict it. You may not smoke, have no cancer in your family, but you still end up getting cancer. Alcoholism is the same thing. According to Webster's dictionary, there are 6 explanations of what a choice is. Number 1 is being able to make a selection, the act of choosing. Number 2 is the power of choosing, which is options, having options. 3 is being the best of, being able to pick the cream of the crop, or she was their first choice. It's a variety to choose among. Care in selecting, something that you would select on purpose. And number 6, it's a gray to meet, something between prime and good. Okay, let's go through those, because none of them apply to addiction. The act of choosing, number 1, selection. No one selects alcoholic as something that they hope to achieve. It makes you feel bad about yourself, it makes other people angry, and it makes it difficult to manage life. The power of choosing, options. Number 2, having options. I think this is where people get confused, because it's getting pretty common to hear about people that get into recovery and can stay sober. So why doesn't everybody go and do that? Well, some cancer patients don't find out they've got cancer until it's too late. Some cancer patients can do chemo, but some cancer patients can't do chemo because their bodies can't take it. Some people die from cancer. Some people don't. Everybody's body's different. Everybody's doctors and medicine and nurses are different. Some people have great family support, others don't. Some people have the will to live, and some don't. So cancer patients don't have the power to choose, and neither do alcoholics. What about being the best? Like the cream of the crop. Progressive illness is not the cream of living. It's not the best part of living. Being a social outcast is not being considered one of the best. She was their first choice. We are never the world's first choice. What about having a variety of things to choose among? A plan with a choice of options. Using may have started as an option, but it never starts without a reason. And here's another thing to think about too. You know, when the house is on fire, people will jump out of a 10-story building to try and save themselves from the fire. And I think that that's what a lot of addicts are doing. They're trying to jump out of a 10-story building to get out of the fire. The other thing to really remember is use depletes the mental ability of the user to think. Duh, right? Everybody knows that. So why do we ask them why they won't get help? Why do you expect them to be able to make rational decisions about their long-term health? Doesn't make any sense. Care in selecting something, another definition, something you would select on purpose. Nobody wants to be an addict any more than anybody wants to have cancer. A grade of meat between prime and good. Something of choice is the best you can get. Let me tell you something. You can buy top shelf all night long and still end up puking in the alley. Alcoholism is not a choice, and the people who have it are not able to make accurate decisions about what's best for them, not without the right kind of help. And people always talk about the alcoholic's denial. You know what? Cancer patients go through the exact same thing. No wonder, huh? The other thing I will mention is I learned today that the medical profession is going to start calling alcoholism substance abuse syndrome. And I find that much better. So thank you everybody for watching, and God bless. If you're not a believer, that's okay. Just ask him to keep blessing you until you are. Good night.